Welcome once again to the Raj Kaul Podcast, and I've got a very special guest today. He was actually recommended by Apache, but I've heard his music before. A great producer, and I'm sure he's a great musician. And I'll let him introduce himself as I always do sometimes. Devinder, introduce yourself, bro.
Hi Raj, it's nice to finally meet you, brother. I'm Devinder J. Devinder, obviously, is my proper name, so we just added the J because of my goat, which is Janagal, so it became Devinder J. So yeah, man, I'm finally sitting on your podcast. It's I've watched many, so I'm glad
Yeah,
I'm on this one.
yeah.
And
Hopefully, all good things.
Apache,
Hopefully, all good things.
Apache's put me forward on the hotspot, so yeah,
Yeah, he
great.
did. The Apache one, to be fair, is blown up because Apache's such a nice guy and he's so open, right? It it blew up out astronomically for the podcast and for him as well. So it wasn't just a one way thing. He loved it as well. And we're doing a follow up to that
Brilliant.
soon. Yeah,
Fantastic. No, yeah, I watched it. I watched it from start to finish. It's amazing.
yeah,
He's really cool, humble.
yeah. Very
He
humble guy.
knows
Yeah,
what he's talking about. So it's fantastic. Yeah.
yeah. I think the thing that shocked me about that one, some of the stuff like the radio, BBC Network, the radio, the 80% of artists. I go, "What? How can you say this
Yeah.
to Apache Indian? That's like,
It's shocking, isn't it, Raj?
yeah,
And especially for somebody of his stature and what he's done for the industry, man.
exactly. Yeah,
Um, when I see him, I have to think twice what I say because Bella, that even though we've built a relationship, that it's from music to becoming a like a brotherly relationship. But फिर भी मैं डर के सोचता कि पहला की कहना है करके
it's
I've got
Apache.
respect for the guy,
It's
man.
Apache
It's
Indian,
Apache.
man. He
Apache
put
Indian,
us on the
man.
map, dude.
Absolutely,
He put us on the
absolutely.
map.
And I just put a recent post up saying exactly the same because
Yeah.
people need to be reminded, because I think recently there's posts going up. There's no bad vibes. It's like these recent singers or singers that have been in the last 10 years say, oh, they're the first one to cross over doing this. Hold on, no, I've actually done it way back.
Yeah.
So we
Apache
got
did
to
it.
keep
There's
people.
so many. I think there's so
Yeah,
many British UK Bhangra did it ages ago, but there was no social media.
100%. This is it. This is it.
There was no social media.
That's
That's right.
what
But anyway,
Angie.
let's get on to you. So tell us where you're from. Where you're from. Tell the audience,
Wow,
listen, where you're
right.
from. Tell us a
Yeah,
bit about
man.
your roots
So
before we get into stuff.
absolutely, man. So I'm from the little town Wolverhampton. Well,
Wolverhampton.
not so little, man. We're Wolverhampton born and bred, man. So yeah. So I see Tejamia of I'm the youngest of four brothers. We're all music mad. It's been a musical family. We've got relatives that are obviously DJs. We've got relatives that are in bands. Yeah, man. So been brought up in Wolverhampton. It's been all brought up in the 70s and 80s. So mixed cultures, different vibes, man. So it's been crazy, man. Nice little Wolverhampton. It does a lot. Yeah.
So it's quite a small, close knit community, isn't it, in Wolverhampton?
It is, Raj.
Yeah,
Wherever you go, you're guaranteed to meet somebody,
yeah,
not one person, 20, 30. Every
yeah,
time you go to the local shop or something, it's everybody knows each other.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a bit like
Yeah.
Handsworth in that sense, isn't it?
Oh gosh, yes,
Yeah,
100%,
yeah.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
tell me how, like, just a bit about your background. Like, how did you get? Were you just listen to music? Because I want to reference Sahotas, the biggest band, like one of the best, one of my favorite all time bands.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and I know you're a fan of them. I'm pretty sure. Am I right in that?
Massive
Yeah,
fan,
you can
You
hear it in
know
your
what?
music as well.
Yeah, the influence is definitely there, Raj. Yeah, there's massive history on that. So I'll take you right back. Actually,
Yeah,
this vibe of sodas. Obviously, they are my uncles. You see, so
really?
my
Wow.
dad's first cousin brothers and things like that. So yeah, see, look, I was born in the 70s, and the Sahotas obviously started around the early 80s, mid 80s, coming into the scene, and um, I'm not going to mention names, but a certain member of the band would come over when I was a kid. I think I was only like 6 or 7. Uh, with Gidabao, the very first album, he came with the cassette. And so every album that was releasing back then, he'd come down to show my Baba. Because back in them days, we all live in the same parivar. Chache, Tae, Babe, Bibiyan, everybody was in one unit. and he'd come and show us the cassette every time it would, every time an album would release, and we'd sit there as kids thinking, "Wow, this is something, man." And the Sahotas have been a massive influence in my music career. And then we've got DJs in our family. We've got a DJ, obviously DJ Tony Mendez.
Yep, massive.
He's been on the scene back in the day when Mix and Claire was about
Yep.
first started. There was Tony Mendez. So I was always influenced by these people around me all the time, man. So yeah, musically, yeah, that's how we started. I thought, wow, I've got relatives that do this stuff, man. I was just so intrigued with it straight away at a very, very young age.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember these, back in the day, you used to get these ghetto blasters. You could
Yep,
put
I
two
had one.
cassettes in.
Had one. Yep.
Yeah, I think we've all had one. I think
Yep.
we had a Memorex one or something like that. That name probably rings a bell. Memorex, man, those cassettes you used to have back in the day.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I was remixing. I was putting a tape on this side, tape on this side. I don't know how I used to do it. This is the cassette player, brother. And I used to match the beats, and I was mixing stuff on cassettes. I'd call my family. I said, "Check this out," and it's just silly things like this. And then as I grew into my teens, I was obviously in secondary school. Um, would play piano, didn't know what to do. Everybody used to play EastEnders or, back then, do you remember the ultimate Anamika tune? Dun, 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 dun,
Yep.
dun.
Yep.
It was like the common thing. Everybody used to be like, oh, I know how to play a keyboard, so I did bust those two tunes. It's always EastEnders or that one. Uh, but yeah, man, I remember back in school, I think it was from the first year, from music, because obviously I've had this background already of a musical family. In school, I started playing the keyboard. I wanted to learn how to play piano and things like that. And they used to have these 8-track keyboards, the Yamaha ones. Now, this is the first time I dabbled in this. On there was 8 tracks, so you could record a different instrument on each one. The teacher would put the headphones on, say, "Look, guys, put your headphones on, do something, end of the lesson, you know, we'll listen to what you've done." And there's me, everyone's having fun and all this. There's me in my corner, man. I'm actually producing a track, but I don't know I'm doing it at the age
Really?
of 12, 13. There's a thumpy going on, there's a bass on that track. And I remember at the end of the lesson, the teacher goes to me, "Yeah, okay, everybody take your headphones off, let's have a listen." Everyone's played their thing and they go, "All right." But the teacher knew I was doing something different, man. So she goes, "Oh, we're going to leave Devinder till the last." So there's me, I dropped the volume and I played it. Brother, Bhangra, blast, dunga, there's Dumbia going, there's bass line, there's a doll I played on there. Everyone's like, what's going on? And, it was just silly things like this. And I always wanted to go a bit extra, and the teacher picked up on that and she goes, "Devinder, I'm really quite impressed with what you do." And then she goes, "Look, I started having musical lessons, started piano lessons, sorry, and all sorts, man." But the journey for actually producing now started when I invested in my first PC at home. We started on Acid Pro, man. I don't know if you remember, there was a
Yep.
program
I know
called
that's it,
Acid
bro.
Pro.
Let's just go back.
Yeah,
Let's go back. Just,
yeah.
so
Let's go
back to
back.
when you were 13, back to piano lessons, because I'm
Okay.
always intrigued by how people learn, what your environment was
Mm,
at home. Did your parents influence you? So I'm always intrigued by these because basically it's a snapshot of history, which we might not ever the younger people won't know this.
yeah, yeah,
That's why
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested. Exactly when you
So
were
it was
young.
difficult then. It was difficult then, right? Because the Siane back then, the parents, it was more like if you were going toward that scene, you're going to be. It's not a it's not a good boy
Come, they
scene.
come here.
And they come basically. I wasn't going to say that, but you
I know
said
that's
it.
the
You
way. I
took the words
shouldn't
out of
say
my
that.
mouth.
It's supposed to be PG.
You
This is
know. Exactly. So yeah, man, and that's what my dad like. They weren't like heavily thinking the child. I used to actually do it in my bedrooms. Chori chupke karta rehta si, and
yeah.
I never used to tell anybody. Apart from my brothers, I'd say, "Yo, come in and have this and all this. I've done something," but it never really took off until my first official release. That my dad thought, "Shit, hold on." This guy was for real back then. He was actually building up to something that he loves doing, But yeah, when you're 13, 14, I was quite confused because I was learning all these things, how to produce, how to mix. But where am I going to take this talent to, man? I didn't know how to get to a record label. I didn't know how to
Mm.
go to how to release stuff. Just didn't know what to do. So Sarthai, then Ange, many years just passed
So
away.
you were
Just
about 13, 14 when you were doing this.
yeah, this is 13, 14,
So
man.
how were you doing
Um,
it? Like, was it on the 8-track Yamaha at school, or was it did you get a first PC by
well,
that time?
34, yeah, I'd had my first P by 13, 14. Obviously started at school. Um, And then, just when you listen to Ghani, I wasn't just listening to Ghani, I was analyzing Ghani. As you are,
Oh
you're an
man,
artist now. Even when you go to a wedding now, you hear a song or any
yeah,
party, people are dancing to it. But I'm fucking analyzing that song. I'm like,
yeah,
okay, that instrument, this. And sometimes you think, shit, I can't enjoy this. I'm actually just
yeah.
listening to how these beats are made, how the music is made. So, it's different, man. So back then, 3014 bought my first PC. Again, I didn't know about Cubase or Logic or anything like that. It was more Acid Pro, the remix based, stuff that you could do mixes on and things like that. But then again, from about 15, I wanted to actually make music. I didn't want to just put beats together on top of a
That's mad.
track and remix, So I just wanted to break it down. Bass कितना बज दिया, chords कितना बज दिया, or instrument कितना बज दिया. So I really wanted to do that. So that was when my first book, well, not my first piece. That's when I dabbled into Cubase, and that's where the initial journey started, man.
So before that, were you still simultaneously learning piano at school as well?
Yeah, so I could say, I did mention that I had a few piano lessons with the teacher, but I think मेरा हाथ उतना ही लग गया सी. I just
Really?
started
Wow.
like, yeah, bought my keyboard at home and with I didn't know we talk about chords, scales, and all that.
Yeah.
What I then I didn't know none of that. I used to just listen to a piece. I could play a piece. Obviously I knew the sort. If I'm making a song, this has got to be the sort of a Ghana. You're just not going to play a piece over a different chord that scale's not on it. But yeah, man, holi sikhi gaya, appi sara kuch. And then eventually, man, I think again it was coming down to how do I now थोड़ा जैसे sick हो गया how to put a track together, but how am I going to put it out now?
Hmm.
Who do I approach? I
So
remember
what
back
age
in
were you
school.
when you're having this? 15.
Yeah, we're about 15, 16
Yeah.
now, And I'm just doing remixes at home. They're just being saved on my drive. Just hundreds of different remixes, 100 different productions, just sitting there. Don't know what to do with them. But, they were just shonk. And then family would come around and say, oh, Dad, you bloody hell, that sounds good. But that's it, take that, and that's it. It didn't ever progress
Yeah.
until, my I think 18, 19, when I started dabbling into figuring out the industry a bit. Gotta get that was the point where I'd be asking questions now. Okay, where do I go, man? I need to put my music out there and let people
Hmm.
listen to it. So I think it come down when my first official release came out. Um, Again, I'm not gonna go into who that was with. Gotta get that's a whole different subject, right? But that happened around early 20s, about 23. So if you think starting from this age of so much a young age, I only got to release my music when I was early 20s, man.
Were you
And
still dabbling in music at that time? Sorry to interrupt you. Was you still dabbling in
yeah,
music? Were you still producing
yeah,
and
yeah.
doing stuff?
They would not drag because of the love for it. They would not. There's no a day would not go by if I'm not in the music studio
Hmm.
or in my home on my PC doing something music. And my parents said, "To baskar on to round the other roti bani or whatever." Nah, man, this came first. This was, I'd say, in the last. I don't know. I'm gonna give my age away now. I'm 46. Well, I'm gonna be 46. I don't think there's been a day in the last 30 years I'm not sat in the studio.
Really? Wow. That's
I don't
passion.
think I've ever took a day off. It just doesn't feel right if I haven't either come up with an idea or I've not sat in the studio, laid something down, even if it means I've been in there for what, 20, 10, 20 minutes just to put something down. There's always something going on musically, man.
Hmm.
And it's from here, isn't it? It's all coming from the heart. But the journey's been hard, it hasn't been easy. Gotta get I would say, I mean, when after 16, 17, 18, 19, but then a horse in there, you're becoming an adult. And that's when I did started approaching a few things. Funny enough, but let me go back a little bit. When I say I was producing, I actually put an 8-track album together. I put it together, burnt it on CD, made a cover, and
So
funny enough, you
can I
won't
stop
believe
you?
this.
There's really interesting bits
Yeah,
here for you.
yeah,
How did this
yeah,
come in your head? Because at that time, I'm thinking you're talking about the 90s. You're roughly.
yeah, man.
We're showing
We're
our age now.
talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
showing our
We're
age.
talking probably late 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, late 90s. I thought Jerry on Garnet Bernay, I'll put him on one album. I'll take a photo somewhere.
But how
I'll
did you
put it on a
find that
sleeve.
out? Like, because there was no the internet was just coming into play at that point. How did you find that
Yeah,
out?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
was it through Sahotas, your relation? Where did you get the information
Yeah,
from?
man. Obviously, the CD sales of the people are releasing CDs back then by then.
Yeah.
So CDs are coming out. ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਏਦਾਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ what I'll do, I'm going to put them all on one CD. I'm going to create my own album. And what I'll do, I'll make copies. And I went, you won't believe this, I wasn't driving then. I caught a bus to but I'm sorry, I've written the addresses down of all the record companies I knew of, Asian ones in Birmingham, uh, around the surrounding areas, the ones that were releasing music then.
So
You,
how did you
you
get
know,
that
you,
information from the back of the CDs or?
That's it. You've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking at
Yeah.
who's doing what, which bands signed to who, taking the addresses down, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna make about 20 copies of this CD. Using burn CDs back then.
Yeah.
On your PC, photo he print card ke pa deni hai, and I went to every record company on a bus.
That's
And I think
amazing.
I went to about, I can't remember, I'm not going to mention record company names again, but I went to every record company and I physically walked in and whoever was there, I didn't know if it was a record company owner or just the staff member. I says, Baji, I've got an album ready, I've got a demo. Please, can you either have a listen to it whilst I'm here or, here you go, just take it and see what you think. It was sad, really. Some just says, brother, we've got loads sitting on that shelf over there, physically point to a shelf.
Really?
Oh, people come in all the time saying, "Oh, doing this," and some of it was off-putting,
Of course.
and some of it was like, "Oh, tell Tika, we'll have a listen and we'll come back to you." So sometimes I'd walk out a bit disheartened, and I'm thinking, "Shit, is this the industry that I'm dabbling into?"
Hmm.
So it just some of it was hard, some of it was happy. The happy part was I was making music, but the difficult part was how the industry was taking somebody that was trying to come into the industry.
Yeah.
And these guys, if somebody comes to me now and Apache, if you'll say, yo, come, let me help. Halle vi idea, I mean, we don't need help now, but it was coming towards the build up to,
The internet.
making a career in music. You thought that certain people you'd approach would assist and say, "Yeah, give you a pickup, man. So let's have a listen. We'll get back to you." But it wouldn't happen, and it was quite off-putting at that point. It is, but we don't stop. We don't stop.
I always say to every person, I think we as Asians, we take ourselves too seriously. Do you know what I mean?
And Levi,
We're a really small fish in a massive in a massive pond, really,
this is it.
Yeah, and yet we
There's no support, man. Another thing is, I think in the Asian industry, generally as well, we've got to stop thinking that "Chal, मैं तो मर जाए आगे चल जाऊंगा, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਆ." You know what I mean? That needs to go, man. I think it's like if somebody's got something and they're offering something, say, "Come on, let's give this guy a chance," or "Come on, let's just at least listen to what this guy's about," and yeah, man, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's madness, dude. It's crazy.
Lucky as well. It's kind of you think, oh my gosh, because when you're a kid, you got suffering, man. Especially Raj, when the music is different, man. It's suffering, but when you got music suffering
Yeah.
about that's a different suffering altogether. Gotta get it's something that you can dishearten you, but if you because we love it so much, we don't stop doing it.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's the thing.
Yeah, and you
And
put
so
all your
you'll get
eggs
the
in one
knockbacks.
basket, don't you, as well?
Yeah,
I
this
did
is
that when I
it,
was younger. You put
So
all your eggs in one basket. I don't care about anything else.
yeah.
This is the only thing I want to do, sort of thing.
Yeah. But you know what? I tell it I know. I've talked a bit about that sad vibe, but you know what? There's so many happy times.
Mm,
The studio time is just it's my getaway. My family know that. Yeah, I tell you one thing, all my family, my relatives, they still say to me this still day, Dad, you know what? You sticking this shit out, man. I don't know how long you've been doing it for, but you've sticking it out. And especially now with songs coming out and that people are appreciating the graft I've put in.
hmm
And I got
You can see
the
it
people
now.
that
You
have
can see.
yeah. So the people that have stood by me and listened to my journey or seen my journey, they know bloody hell this guy's actually put some effort in to what he's
Mhm.
done. So that's appreciated. That's quite nice to know, you
So,
know.
just a bit about Acid Pro and your learning production.
Yeah, yeah,
How, because at that time, you you worked out obviously on the 8 track when you were about 13.
yeah.
But how did that translate to Acid Pro and on the PC? How did you learn that? Because there was nothing there at that time to teach you that.
No, 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 no. See what I do, I remember because you could sample on that quite easily. You could say that the most famous beat you used all the time, Mr. Loverman, Shabaranks.
Yeah,
I knew I needed that beat, so I'd chop a 4 bar of that beat, and then I thought, okay, ਹੁਣ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾਣਾ ਕੋਈ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਗਾਣਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਬੀਟ ਫੜ ਲੈਣੀ ਹੈ, and then obviously I'll just match your beats, man, and I'll follow, oh, I was remixing. It's all about, I mean, we were figuring out little things, the beat, get that match on the, how am I going to match that
yeah,
tempo? But there was things you'd like dabble into the software itself and figure out what was what. But Acid Pro, man, I've still got loads of remixes of from Acid Pro back in the day, man. I've still
you
got
have
them.
to
Man, I
send it to
listen
me
back to
afterwards.
them, like, I will do, some really cool
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, what you should do
But
is
yeah.
after you. Sorry, after you.
No, 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 no. It'd be nice to actually release some of them, actually, because some of them were pretty cool, man. Yeah, yeah. But then again, now I'm on to a different kind of. See what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to set myself as a producer for a certain style, a
Yeah.
certain way of producing now. So I don't think they might work if I release them now, because that's not what I'm trying to portray myself as. Back then, might have worked, but not now. you know.
Okay, so from there, you learned Acid Pro, and so you learned production all that time just by
Yeah,
dabbling into it, and so if I'm summarizing this correctly, so you've burnt your own CDs, you've made your own, or printed your own covers, you're taking to the labels. Then,
yeah.
what happened after that?
That was it. I'd waited a few weeks. I didn't hear anything, man. So I thought, oh no. Back then, I think can't even remember if I had a mobile back then, man. I think I must have given my landline number back. We used to have landlines then.
Yeah, yeah,
So I don't even think I had a mobile to give them my mobile number. So I must have left them some point of contact. But then, though we can get, then we can get 4 weeks went past, not hearing nothing, and I just knew, okay, this is going to be a difficult journey, man. Um, but again, we just kept going to the studio, just sitting in my studio, still making beats, still no official release, but it's still bedroom based. It's not moving anywhere. But I didn't get disheartened.
Hmm.
But the beauty of it, I did have some school friends um, that were already doing music. So luckily, I had a few guys to call and say, "Yeah, look, I've been doing stuff, but it doesn't seem to be. I don't seem to know where to take and
Hmm.
go, which angle to drive." And there's a colleague, a school friend of mine. Sorry, he forwarded me to a producer that's doing quite well now, and that was where my first mulaqat with somebody already in the industry had happened. And that's how my first official release was done. But again, it wasn't as a producer, Raj. It was as
Singer, wasn't it?
vocalist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My
I know the
goodness.
song, so
It went a different angle altogether. Man, the
yeah,
गाने बनाने से मैंने the vocalist पे पाता.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. But you know what? The funny thing is, because I've been producing for so long, and I wasn't producing for any actual artists, I wasn't producing for singers. I was just making music at home. So I used to just sing on top of it myself. I'll do Samane Chabara, I'll do old school tracks, I'll just write the lyrics down. And I was producing, just doing cover versions myself. So I would sing them myself. So eventually, um, when this producer heard what I was doing, I showed him a few of my demos anyway. So he goes, "Okay, Devinder, I know you produce, but you know what? I quite like I like the sound of your voice. So I tell you what, I'm the producer. Let's put you out as a vocalist instead." So, but for me, it was like, it's all right. I don't care. I need my
Your
gateway.
pathway into the
I did my pathway. So that the mind was thinking like that, you know. Perché je मैं उदा ही सोची गया कि मैंने opportunity कदी मिलनी नहीं सी. I didn't know. I don't know when that would have came. So I just took that as a vocalist option. I thought, let's go, just go with that, you know. So that's how it all started, man. But it's funny because I did have the Sahotas to call or to get information on, but guy, mate, 80s and 90s, they were on the road constantly. You
yeah.
could not get hold of any of the
No.
Sahotas back then. They were just constantly gigging, brother. They were mad busy. That was their peak, innit? The 80s, 90s, early 2000. It was so hard to get hold of them, you know? So that's hence why I had to kind of figure out how to do it all myself, you know? So it was difficult, but that was the starting point. I'd say just before I got married at 23, just before I was 24. That was when my first single come out. So that was good, man. But that's a different story altogether now because that, even though I went through as a vocalist, come out as a vocalist, I was promised a lot of things as well. As I was coming to the industry, so I'm learning how these artists are working. So, and it's not nice sometimes, some of it. You've been told what to do, how to do it. And then again, you're thinking, shit, I don't want to come out as what these guys are trying to make me out to be. Because you've learned so much, you want to come out and show people how you want to be in this industry, man. So that relationship or that era didn't last long. So again, it went through back to the drawing board, going to the bedroom, producing again. But by then, I'd had a decent setup in the studio in my house. So I was producing pretty good stuff already by this time. But then, Raj, it happens again. When you're doing this, saal fir nang jande hai. You don't know 5 saal nang jande hai, 10 saal nang jande hai. And not, it doesn't say I haven't approached people within that time. I have. But again, it comes back to what Apache used to say, what Apache said on his last interview with you. 80% of the industry, man, I'm shocked of the replies I got back from these guys. I approach vocalists, I approach guys as a producer, say, look, Midana, come, go up, I'm ready, and here's a few demos. They were liking what they were hearing. Don't get me wrong, they really liked what they were hearing, but they would say, Buddy, Manu, we'll work with you, but it was straight to money talk.
Yeah, that's it.
It wasn't like
Exactly that,
it went straight to that. Chal theek hai, Manu 4-5 हज़ार दे दे.
How's it hard?
Yeah, man, this is how I've been on silly ones. I mean, early stages, yeah, getting the Hazard born, Pansel Hazard born, but there were some of the ones that are approaching, it was just all about money.
Crazy.
And I was like, what? Okay, this is how it's going to happen. I might as well stick to vocaling myself,
Absolutely,
and and then I just started doing my own stuff, man. But then again, it's been crazy. Again, I don't think I had any official releases after 2003 again for quite a while. Again, because it was just so difficult to put myself out there. And it's just, when I think back, I think, oh gosh, why did it take so long, man? It was just because I think, I've approached so many people, had knockbacks. No one's kind of showing me any light. Nobody's showing me a direction.
You get disheartened, don't you?
Yeah, man. It's been a bad one, man. So it disheartened all get for like I says, years go by. And I had this is the same conversation I had with Apache when I first got in touch with Apache, and I swear down, he felt my story, man. he actually put up my story. He goes, brother, no. He goes, what you're doing, you know, showing you all my demo, showing you my production. He goes, nah, man. He goes, I can't believe it. You know, what's happened. And I think it's happened to a lot of people.
Of course it has,
It's
yeah.
because the industry's been not so nice, you know, and but we don't look back now. We're looking forward. I know, Raj.
Absolutely, yeah. But what,
Yeah, you know.
there's a few interesting points, Dav, before we get back on it, to what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Mhm.
Don't you know me? I go off on one as well with Apache, so
Yeah.
I don't
Of
really care
course,
about
man.
stuff. I don't really care about stuff because it's, you know, who cares like these days? You know, like obviously, you know, we
Yeah,
just
man. Kulli gal karo aur
yeah,
dance
अपना
rotate.
काम करो ने, है ना? Just
That's it.
अपनी मेहनत करो. Uh, Basically,
Haji.
there's an interesting thing you said that they picked you up as a vocalist, the producer at that time.
Yeah.
Don't you think, right? It reminds me because your voice, like probably similar to mine, like we're not the
Yeah.
stereotypical high pitch folk
No.
singing. So don't you think that
100%.
time there were so many great different a variation of singers? Then suddenly we got bang. If you're not singing on Tijakala or like, you know, at the top of
Yeah.
whatever, just make. If you're not singing that pitch and you haven't got that rustic that vocal tone,
Yeah.
you're not a singer.
Yeah. This is it. You know, I think, yeah, it was hard, Rad, because on the same album that I was featured on my first release, Lembert was on it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, there's a big bloody difference here, man. You know? But again, as well, we're UK singers. We're not from Punjab. We're not from back home. Okay, see Punjabi बोलते हैं, बोलनी भी चंगी होती है,
Yeah.
but you know, our tone's going to be different when we sing. We're not going to be as tight as the Punjabi
Yeah.
vocalist, but as long as we're saying the words right and we're in key, we're on scale, let's go, man. I find this whole, okay, you've got to sing in key. Of course, you've got to sing in
Of course,
key.
yeah.
But it's become a cussing contest where yaar ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਿਆਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ, he doesn't know his keys or whatever. You know, it's become too much. Whereas now, if we take it back to the bands now, Raj, if we pick out a handful of cassettes from back on the 80s, 90s, I'm not going to again paint. You see how many singers are off key, man.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
But you know,
saying it's
it
great,
still
bro.
sounded sick. And it,
But it was sick. We weren't picking up on that. It
yeah,
was good music. It was like, yeah, man, let's go. You know what I
yeah, man.
mean?
Yeah.
You know, but now it's could become compulsory. If you can't do this or that, you know. But then now it comes to this day and age,
Yeah.
you take auto tune of some of the big artists here, boy, you're gonna be hearing something totally different.
Well, this is the controversy. Like, recently, there's so many artists have gone on
Yeah.
stage live, right? Big ones from Canada and all sorts, and they're out of
Yeah,
key.
yeah.
They're out of
It's
key. They've
mad.
got no charisma.
Yeah.
They're flat as anything.
I've seen it, man. I've seen it
That
from my
never
own
happened
eyes.
to the 80s bands, 90s bands. Dude, they were wicked.
Ah,
man.
mate, you know.
Innit?
This is it, you know. But but the 80s, 90s band, you know, God bless these guys. They opened doors. They set the standards. You know, the bands back then were amazing. And talking about bands, when I was in Wolverhampton, we had some great bands. We had Azad, we had
Yeah, man.
Shakti, the Sahotas, you know, Geet the Mega Band. There was all these guys from Wolverhampton, so inspirational. Red Rose, if we're taking it actually right back, you know, there's so much, man. But it wasn't about that. It was all Pyar as well. There was a lot of Pyar then.
Yeah.
I mean, generally in life, everybody look, people came from India back in them days, man. They weren't seen as anybody else or Paji. They don't know that he's from a different god, a different relative. Everyone was living as one, man. It was nice.
Absolutely, yeah.
But, you know, that was general the way it was. But musically as well, I feel that's like it was good. But now it's become a contest. I think it's become too much of a contest now, man. But but even though you just keep doing what you're doing, that's what
Exactly,
I'm saying.
yeah. It was just interesting, like that you said that some guys heard your tone, and I think that wouldn't necessarily happen today. Do you understand? If you're not singing like Lember or Kaka or you're not singing like Surinder Shindaji or Kuldeep Manik, you're not a singer.
Yeah, this is it. You know, I mean, I've tell a lie, Rad. You know the song that I put out there on that release. I was actually told to go a bit like that.
It was, yeah.
Mar ja catch gig out there.
Yo, but
I don't think that's that.
your tone's not that.
But I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. My vocals are quite soft.
Yeah.
You know, they're more for relaxed songs. Pyar Sornale Gane. I'm not out there to blast because that's not me, man. If I want to do Balle Balle Chak Chak, I'll do it. But I know it now that's not in my capability. I'll even say that I don't go there. This is me. I'm here.
It's not about, as a singer, I'm telling you, it's not about capability. It's about variation.
Yeah.
Look at Shindy CS, one of the best singers ever to come out of the UK.
Yeah.
He doesn't sing like that, but if anyone says he can't sing, dude, you need thappad.
100%.
You know what I mean? He's one of the best singers. Unbelievable.
Amazing. And look how he look at what he does. Yeah. All the dance floor bangers he's done, all the Pyar Wale Gane he's done, the love songs. Look at that, man. And again, you can't point fingers to shit. No way. But this whole
it's gone. And look at people like Johnny Z, man.
Oh, yeah. Johnny
you know what I mean?
Man.
Like,
rest in peace,
the legend himself, man. Johnny Z, look at him. He wasn't stereotypical, but that era is just gone.
This is it, you know. Look when Johnny Z, when Johnny Z come out, and it was that butterly voice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And when I first heard it, in the first instance, I thought, "Ooh, what the hell's going on here?" But as more I listened to Hit the Deck, I thought, man, this guy's bad. You know, Honta Me Nachna was the baddest track around at that time, you know, and yes, look at that. I'm glad artists like that came about because people now are thinking, okay, you don't have to be up there doing all the jack bulle.
No, but the UK's got that problem. Canada hasn't necessarily got that problem. Canada's now, the UK still got that problem where if you're not singing like that, you're not classed as a singer. But Canada, again, if you're not singing like that rap style now, it's I don't know.
This is it. It's man. I don't see as it is singing, but it's more like it's spoken singing, isn't it? Now that vibe that we're getting.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's great.
It sounds good. It sounds really nice. You know, it's working. But so this the whole thing of you got to be doing all that. Throw it out the window, man. It's a different time. It's a different. You know what, Raj? We can make music however we like, whatever genre we want, whatever. It's that time now. It doesn't matter. You do what you want to do from here now, and it got to get all damn gay on, and nobody can point a finger on you now because it's come to a stage where you can. It's so easy to release now. If it was so easy to release back then, oh man, mere ta hon 200 gaane nikle si. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By now, because how easy it is now, it's just crazy. So just do what your heart's saying, man. But the thing is, the struggle hasn't stopped yet. Because even though it's so easy to release music now, let's go back to the conversation again. The stations that we rely on in this country don't help these UK mans like us. Yeah. Okay, now, I don't see nothing wrong with the quality of our music. I don't see nothing wrong with the music that we're releasing. Raj, you remember Radio Raj Kaul back in the day?
Yeah.
Polly and Cash was it. You'd be eagerly waiting every Friday with your cassette ready to record what's going to be coming out. You know what I mean? Just not bang, record, let's go. You'd listen to it back because you might have heard a new track by somebody, you know, Shakti Sahotas or whatever. And they were it was so beautiful to have that. Now, we haven't got that no more. You can't, there's nothing, you're not waiting for something because you know what's on the playlist already, brother. You know what I mean? You know already what's there. There's nothing new. There's no support mechanism. Yo, let's just drop it, man. British broadcast. Come on. British. Look after the boys here, man.
Yeah.
That's fine. Wherever, America. Help the boys that are born here, man.
What they many girls have Korea, you know, if we look at, if they did that to Apache, who are we, bro?
Well, you know, that just says it all, right? You know what I mean?
Who are we?
It's shocking, man. And I don't know what the criteria is there. I really don't understand it, you know? But until we don't, you know, figure that out, it's going to be quite difficult for anybody, really, you know? the journey itself's difficult, getting to where you want to be, but then it becomes difficult because you haven't got this side of it covered either.
But
So,
thankfully, the tide's changing, isn't it? The way we consume music and listen and
mm,
discover music used to be radio was the dominant form,
yeah.
but now stuff like TikTok, you discover music on
Mm,
TikTok now, innit? You know,
amazing, man.
on Instagram, and that's where you discover the way we
Yeah.
discover music's different. But yeah,
100%, 100%.
that's all.
You know, it's good, man. It's nice now because yeah, you got some talent, man. You put it on TikTok or whatever. Look how many artists, how many singers have been picked up off there.
Yeah,
You know, and all of a sudden their journey's just gone mad.
yeah,
But you know, music. You know, again, right? Music. So it's such a mad industry. You've been in it. I've been in it. Um, like I says, now the time is come to just do what you want to do.
yeah.
There's no point waiting for somebody's approval or only gonna. Just do what you're doing, man, and that's the way forward. I see. And no, you're gonna get critics, of course you are. Everybody gets critics, good or bad. But you just put what you can now. Just put it out, so it. No.
Absolutely, yeah. So just get back to your story. So I took stuff on a tangent about that. So when you after you started, you'd been your singing and stuff, and then how did you get back into? There was a gap. How did you get back into production and releasing music?
Right. So yeah, I got like I said, at about 23, turning 24, I got married.
Yeah,
So funny enough, the album that was I made when I said I made that album, some of it was made because I'd been engaged before that. While the album was getting made, so I made some of those songs for the missus,
did you?
and that's why the album पूरी हो गई सी वो दो प्यार वाले गाने में सुनते सी तो वो मैं काट के मैं album को बनाती सी. But yeah, man. So let's go back to the question. What's the question, Raj?
So
I've gone off scale.
after you've done the song and then you started producing, but you were in a lull again. Like basically, there was no releases.
Yeah, yeah. So we got married. You know that obviously. Oh, that's what I was going to concentrate on for a while.
Yeah,
So and then you know few years later we've had children. So again now look at easily 5 6 years have gone by again. Nothing done. You know, and wow, man, Raj, this is it. You know, but like again, even though those years were flying by, like I said, there wasn't a day I would not be in the studio. There'd
hmm
still be that was constantly happening in the background. All I knew in my heart was that you know this is all a build up to something. I never, you know, you used to get disheartened at time, but you'd carry on because you know that hold on, something's gonna come out, something's gonna happen one day. You know what I mean?
hmm
So that Honsla, that Borosa, if you call it, it was always there. So we just keep going and going. Um, and then, funny enough, because of my production, obviously with social media, I'm able to put stuff on social
Yep.
media. Instagram, we started sharing a few of my production and things like that. Um, I'll mention this guy because he's a fantastic guy, lovely chap, Harvey Sahota, big
Yeah.
Sahota fan as well.
Always wicked, yeah.
And and this guy, man, see, this is now we're talking, I think 2015 now. Look at Raj, see that gap that's happened already
Yeah.
from getting married 2004 to now. Tell a lie, even though I was putting stuff on social media, I was putting stuff on you know anywhere I could put it. I was still actively making music, but it wasn't coming out because I wasn't ready at that time. I thought, John Tika,
Mm.
let's just take a break from it all. We'll analyze the situation and I'll come back into it.
Plus, the industry was
Um,
in a funny state at that time. Remember, about 2004,
yeah,
because digital was like CDs were dying, digital was coming over, but there wasn't
this
the
is it.
platforms
That
for you and me to
crossover.
get on. Huh?
This is it. So it was like, yeah, okay, it's getting all a bit funny now. So at that time, it felt like Jantika, let it play out the way it's playing out.
Mm.
We'll carry on when the time's right. But yeah, so luckily now, I think it was around 2015, 2016. Harvey picked up on one of my videos, man. Because obviously, I think he must have seen a few, and he felt that, yo, this guy's on the Sahota flex here. Because there's not a production that really went by without having some kind of influence of a soul,
Yeah.
a sound or a beat, the dollar, something was gonna be there of the Sahotas in my production. Gotta get, you know what it was? It's not. It wasn't me even me copying them. It's not because people would listen to it, oh, it's a copy kind of that. But it was something that was I felt I've learned of middle star there. I call them my star. If it wasn't for Sahotas, their vibe, their music, I don't think I would actually go into music because, like I said, when I was a kid, that was probably the first album I was listening to was Sahotas, and so of course there was an influence of there. One of them being relations, and listening to them all the time. And obviously the music is just something else.
Yeah.
It was totally different from any other band, and So Harvey realised that okay, he's on that flex, and Harvey's had a mad journey with the Sahotas as well. He was a roadie with them for many years. He'd
Really? I
go to
didn't
the
know that.
shows. Yeah, man, it come to a point. That's how it started. He'd go to every live gig.
Wow.
Any club gig, any concert, any Miller, he was following the band heavily because till like he wanted to learn as well because
Yeah.
he felt their vibe hard, man, and it come to a point they would know that he's at all these shows. Eventually, he started being with the band, carrying stuff, and then eventually he started taking notes and lessons with the crew, with the instruments, and with Serge and everything. So. Hence why when his project come out, I think it was Project A, wasn't it? His first debut single or album,
He had a few songs, didn't he?
and
Like he did.
Guri Punjabi come out,
Yeah.
and
That's
when
the
that come out,
name. That's the name. That
yeah,
one.
what a great track! And
Yeah.
when we heard that, I didn't even see the cover of that album, or when I was just heard it, oh bloody hell, Serge Nagana, look, bro, that's not Serge, man. That's some guy called Harvey Sold. I was like, nah, that's how it was. I was like, oh my God, okay, this guy is proper on it, But that's a different story. But yeah, Harvey picked it up, man, and that at that time he was forming a band, which then went on to be the Live Crew. I
Yeah, I
don't know if
remember.
you
Yeah, yeah.
if you recall that, Raj. So he was looking for a keyboardist
Acha.
to complete the band. Now there was an issue because these guys are London boys. I'm Wolverhampton. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ show ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ in Birmingham in 2016 at some point, and he goes, Dav, I'm coming down. I'm in the Midlands. I'm going to come down and see you. I got Tika, Meg. I didn't think it was going to be of anything. It would just talk about music and a bit about production. But he goes, yeah, but I'm forming a band and I'd like you to be part of it because obviously you're hot. The way you play is that sound flex, which is what I'm all about.
Yep.
And so he asked me to be part of the band. Bro, I ain't played live for nobody. Man, the studio with Bender, it's different when you play keyboard in studio. You
Yeah.
can make as many, you're playing riffs, you're playing pieces, you make as many mistakes as you want. Live is a totally different ball game, man. And I thought, nah, man, I can't do that, bro. I can't be doing that. He goes, have a think about it. But then, see, this is where again, I think it was a blessing in a way because so many years, I don't know how many, 8, 9, 10 years had gone by again. And my head thought again, yeah, maybe this is another opening again. Maybe this opening again, it's happening again. The timings are coming again for me to get back into the music. So, yeah, I phoned him a couple of days later and I go, bro, let's do it. I'll be part of the band. Now, the problem was, how am I going to get to rehearsals? The rehearsals are in bloody London every week,
Yeah.
2 times a week. I'll go look up and make 1 rehearsal a week. Raj, and I wasn't driving then. And they'd left me he brought a big keyboard up. It was a Roland. I forgot which one it was, man. Massive keyboard with the carrier case and everything. So every Friday, Saturday, I'd be taking this keyboard on the train to London to do rehearsals. Yeah, so, because, again, let's do music. We just love it so much that we can't stop. Jindan Maji has to go to the other side of the world. We'll do it, man. Can't care. But, yeah, man, went every Friday for a year on a train to do rehearsals with the live crew. And then eventually, the band was formed. I'm not going to mention again. We went to a few award ceremonies. We were called to. We won best UK Bhangra band. Blah blah blah. But again, for us, that was more. We were just formed exposure. Tika, well, let's do it. You know, for us, it was good.
Of course, yeah.
Um, and then Harvey released Sajjana Be Sajjana.
That smashed it, man. That was wicked.
What a wonderful track and a wonderful cover version of that he
Yeah.
done there. And we made the video for that, and then not soon after, me and Harvey thought, you know what, it's time, but it's time me and you actually release something as well. So we released our Mitranu track
Mm-hmm.
that come out. But yeah, I can't even remember the year now, Raj. But that come out. That was my first single comeback now I'm coming back as a producer.
Producer, yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
So my first debut was as a vocalist, which I wasn't gonna do. I've always wanted to be a producer. All these years have gone by, me making music in the bedroom again. Stopped because I got married, had children. Harvey come to me with this offer to be in the band, and now finally, I think how many years later, I'm actually producing a song. Shit, man. I was like, okay, let's do this song. Me and Harvey, man, we produced this song. It went down pretty well. Again, it's all the elements of the Sahota flex on the track. And that was it, man. That was my gateway to come back into production. But this time I was going to take it seriously. There weren't going to be no pauses. There weren't going to be no disheartedness. We're going to go for it this time, and since I haven't stopped now, obviously we've had a few pauses in between releases, but it's been all go since
How did you find the industry change, like when you're coming back from when you first started?
Yeah, man, but I think by then now we're a lot maturer now.
Yeah.
We're mid-30s, hitting late 30s now. I mean, it's a shame it took so long, because you want to be doing these things really in your 20s. The music of getting somewhere, making that name, progressing at that age. But okay, it didn't happen at that age. It was happening a little later, which was the only part that was, that still I feel sometimes a pelani ki opportunity really, but it's never late. So that's one thing that really sometimes I feel. But again, it was okay. The industry it wasn't acceptable. It wasn't accepting, and there was nothing that I was like, how can I put it? I wasn't looking. I wasn't expecting anything from nobody at this point now.
Bro, you know what
It's
they would have done?
Yeah, man. It was like, just let's do our thing, man.
Yeah.
Harvey, this is me. This is you. This is what we like doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Because we're Sahota mad, He's vocally Sahota. He just. But the thing is, he learned off Serge. He's studied it. I studied the musicality of it. I haven't just gone in and say, look, I want to play like Mookie or I want to play like, VJ. I want to learn how these guys do because I love this sound. I love what they've created. For me, it was a new genre.
So how did you?
Bhangra.
If you tell me about that process of you learning was there a breakdown? Did you break everything down bit by bit, or how did you do it?
Yeah, because it was the style that they had. The style of a normal Punjabi piece, you'd play. But Mookie would do it different, or Serge. Tell a lie. Let's go back to Mookie and Serge were the producers, because a lot of songs people said the Soul album that Mukhtar produced, but they're mostly produced by Mookie and Serge. Now I just want to clarify that. But with them guys, that piece wouldn't be just played in like that. There'd be some twisters on the wheel bender. There were flicks coming off, and it was more like they were taking that Punjabi riff into their own way. And that was, for me, it was mad. I was like, and it would touch your heart because that little flick of that, whatever he's doing on that wheel bender or the way he's played that riff, it was something else. And that's what stuck out for me, and it stuck out for everybody. Started becoming the Sahotas sound that everybody was used to now,
It's a
and
synth
obviously
they
that
used, isn't it?
hardcore.
It's a synth they
The
use.
synths were crazy, man.
Unbelievable,
You
yeah.
know, so or Sonic Gear. It's like now if I play a piece to you now, I won't play synth that. There's gonna be a twist on that.
Yeah.
Gotta get मेरा हाथ उदा ही लग गया ਹੁਣ, you know, and it's even now like we break a track down now, you know, from the bass to the chords to the melody to the riff, from every little piece. I've studied every instrument the way it should be played. I know that a bass has to be played like this in a certain way. I know the chord has to be played. I have had to learn everything myself. So
How did you
everything's
do
been
that?
self-taught,
And
but
how did you do
you
that?
know, but the man, I don't know what it is. I've always said it's a God-given talent when music is. It's not something that you know. Obviously, you do learn it, but I've always believed that something that it's been given to you, man, from day one.
Mm.
मेरा जितना thank God मेरा हाथ जो लगदा इत्थे on this keyboard, आप ही शुरू हो गया. You know, from a very young age, you know, once I picked up how to play chords, the rest of it was just coming, you know, easy, playing pieces and stuff and that. So I think it just naturally came by. But thank you to, you know, the Sahotas, Serge especially. He's been a great influence in my music. Serge, Apache, Johnny Z, these kind of guys have been amazing, man.
Don't you miss it?
I mean,
Don't you miss that music? Don't you miss all that? You know, every artist you mentioned there,
man,
who missed
it's
that
too
era,
much,
like it brings a
man.
tear to my eye, like, man. Man, it's like,
It bloody does. Of course it
gosh,
does,
that was
man.
music, man.
You
It was
know?
like
I
something.
mean, you look at those names now. Look, we got Serge, we got Johnny Z, we've got Apache. You know,
But
these
many
names
others as
back
well, weren't
then,
they? Like even
many
Shin
others as
DCS
well.
music,
Yeah, yeah.
Excellency, they
Shindy's,
were
yes, yeah, yeah.
unbelievable.
Excellency. Oh, it's never ending. It was
Oh,
just something different, wasn't it? You know, when Shake Your Pants come out, but they see, wow, what an album! Flipping out, blowing my socks off. And you know, you would listen to all sorts of bands. You know, jazz group back then. You had them; they were doing something different. A Juba.
Dubai.
You know,
I listened to
bloody
the other day. I
hell,
was
really? Wow. You know, I'd love to meet that guy. Actually, I can't remember his Donny. I forgot his name now. Galo is your no charo set coffee's hard again. But yeah, man, these guys, everybody had their own vibe, man. It was good.
yeah.
But for me, man, Soldiers still had the something. They had the edge
Well,
on
they
certain.
took it like but I don't know whether you've seen my interview with Mukhtar.
I've actually, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's a
yeah.
absolute masterclass in this thing. It's just
Wow,
another level. That was like speaking to a genius.
yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. You know, yeah, man. Listen to him and Serge on their music and their albums. It's something else. And sorry, I'm still have a glass of my throat's getting dry,
No
right?
worries, no worries. Yeah, I was saying, I just miss those, really miss those days. Like,
It's
and
it's
I,
mad.
I don't want to go like I'm not one for like, oh, you know, you're gonna bring that back. No, but music hasn't evolved in the way
Yeah,
it should be evolving. It's basically
yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
take
See.
pick up a genre, right? Let's say hip hop. That's it, and everything's hip hop.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Yeah, man. I think it's. See now, I think I don't know if I'm saying it right now. There's a bandwagon. A lot of people jump on it at different times on maybe this era that everyone's going through is if that's what it is. I mean, for me, this era is now. Gotta give you now. If you go back to when we're talking about producing. We'll produce a track from scratch, from the chords to the bass to the pieces to everything until we got a final product.
Hmm.
But now you've probably noticed now it's a lot of sample based stuff.
Splice, yep.
Splice, you know, riffs are being on repeat throughout the same riff will be on repeat throughout the whole song.
Yeah.
But the Gone That Lyric obviously will change throughout the song, and there's a beat, and off we go. Gone as done. Um, but man, we used to spend, oh my God, time producing a track. If I turn around now, if I'm using Splice or whatever, I can make your track in 5 seconds now. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. It's
But
a different ball game altogether.
it's gonna get caught out though, in my opinion,
Yeah,
because it'll all get
yeah,
too samey. And the ones
yeah,
that
yeah,
stand
yeah, yeah.
out, like for example, if you look at the artists like the Weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Even though he's using those
Mm.
samples, but if you look in the music, there's actually proper thought gone, behind the track.
There's a thought process. And don't tell, because you know what, you have to move with the times. Okay,
Yeah,
you're gonna use, because I'm not gonna sit here with software 20 years old. Obviously, I'm gonna
yeah, of course,
use
yeah.
software that's coming out at this time and age. And if you learn how to use it properly, but don't let that run your whole track.
No,
You've got to have some bloody input into that Ghana. Just ਤੁਸੀਂ on grabbed a beat loop, grabbed a guitar loop and a bass loop and 3 elements. You've done the track in 3 stems, bro. Our track's about 200 stems, man. You get me?
yeah.
What the hell's that's going
But
on? But
that's
you
what
know
it
what?
is
It's
now.
working.
That's what it
But
is
it's
now.
working for you guys, you
Yeah.
know. But sometimes I think, shit, man, I need to break my music down. I'm gonna start doing
Why
stuff.
do you think
But
that is?
nah.
Why do you think that is, Dav? Why do you think it's working? Because to the listeners, I'm saying we're saying this as musicians, right? And
Mhm.
who know about about music and how it's composed and how it's put together,
Yeah.
and we're thinking,
Mhm.
man, this is a bit okay. It sounds good, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Hmm.
there's something missing. Like you and me will say that, but why do you think the audience is working with the audience?
I don't know, man. I think it's because obviously these sounds that everyone's using, the ready-made samples, the
Yeah,
ready-made loops, they're of really high quality, aren't they?
yeah,
So once you've mixed and mastered already good sound, already good made beat, it's gonna come through as fire. As long as you're gonna hit those vocals nice on that, it's gonna flow, you know. So I think it sounds really nice to the ear straight away, doesn't it?
but okay,
Um,
I'm going to be controversial
yeah,
again. You've said
yeah,
that it
go for
sounds
it.
nice, right?
Mm.
But I still listen to Sahotas music today. Will people be in 20 years' time? Will people be listening to this music that's released now?
Uh-huh. Good question, Raj. That's a very good bloody question.
They won't, will
Yeah.
they? We're
Nah.
40 years down the line.
That's
People will still be listening to Sahotas.
This is it. This is it. You killed it there. Exactly, you know. It's gonna come round, man. I don't know where all the industries. It's hard to point, man, at the moment. Gotta get see now again. Now all this is happening in the industry where the productions become of this style. You know, producers that like ourselves, myself, that do everything from scratch. It's like shit. Do we need to now change our game? You know, do we need to? But
Yeah,
tell a lie. If I find like I've got productions on this computer right behind me. I've produced the track, but then I thought, okay, let's try what these people are doing. Why not? Okay, we'll nick a little flute from Splice
yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. Let me see what it sounds like.
And there's nothing wrong with
If
that.
it sounds nice,
Yeah,
if you've made it clever and it fits in your song, John, let's go with it. That's fine.
yeah,
But don't let the whole track be run by it. There's
yeah,
no bloody hard work in that.
yeah,
Yeah, and then put your name on that. And you might as well call it Splice, DJ Splice. You know what I mean? Your name or whatever.
yeah.
And I know, okay, I'm already color, man. I'm telling you, man. But it's all right. Let's go with what's happening. A lot, we're gonna carry on doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And you know what? In the tracks that we release, obviously you'll know that these guys have put effort in the track, so that's
Yeah,
good to know. Anyway, you know.
yeah. But then
Yeah, man. So,
you know, it's a zeitgeist, which is like the spirit of the time at whatever the flavor is at the moment. Huh? And
yeah.
interestingly, I was watching this guy once, and he was saying how art, like in general, huh? And I'm not
Mhm.
about drawing art and artistry in general,
Of
has really
course, yeah.
declined to the point of where it's what we call art now has changed so much. It's like there was an art piece
Mm.
somewhere, and someone's put like a toilet, and it's stained, and that's in an art gallery.
There you go.
Do you know what I mean? And,
Right.
and this guy was saying, how
Yeah.
absurd is that? If you said that 50 years ago, this is going to be art, you
Yeah.
think, it's just to be like edgy, just to be this, and
Yeah.
it's art is changed, and it's depreciated, you know?
Yeah, yeah. See that? There we go. That was a perfect example, Raj, man. I don't know if you want to shit on a toilet as well.
Exactly.
That's a wicked art
I'm
example of
sorry,
it.
sorry, guys. That's like, I don't mean to sound like,
But
you know what
what
I
a
mean?
great example. But no, man, it's crazy, isn't it? When you think of it like that. Obviously, that's using an example, but you know what? I think that it's a rang barangi industry now,
Yeah.
and in a way, it's okay because different producers are coming in. There's lot of producers, a lot more vocalists, a lot of variation now. I think it's one thing that's happening for sure. It's coming to a point where there's not that much finger pointing going on now, as in between about who's doing what. Got to get you're independent. Everyone's more or less independent these
Yeah.
days.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know, hard to declare record companies are funding tracks or funding artists like they did back in the day, like with Apache Island Records, and all that. Hard to see apna karo. Del la ke karo, pyar na karo, you can't go wrong, man. Let the
Absolutely.
people talk. Let man talk. If somebody don't like a song, they don't need to listen to you, man. I'm sure some people out there will enjoy what they listen to, and
Mm.
you just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's come to a point now, and in Apache's, let's go back to Apache, man. When you won't believe how it started. I've come to a point in my career. Obviously, I love producing reggae music, which is obviously again a sort of flex that Punjabi reggae
Yep.
influence. And I made a beat, man, and I thought, wow, okay. I put a little Megana towards the beat because I do write a bit of lyrics as well. So Megana lick and I vocaled it, and I sent it. I thought, shit, man, I need want to release this track. But I need a like a rapper on there or something like a reggae MC, something going on. So I was just sitting there one evening and I thought, yo, I'm gonna email this track to Apache because his email address was on Instagram. Oh, I don't know Apache. I
Really?
thought,
Wow.
yo, this is gonna be a bloody long shot, but I don't think this guy's gonna ever reply to me. He's the geezer that released Boom Shakalak. You got me. I'm like, I've had so many knockbacks from all these singers back in the day. This guy's the ultimate for me. He's like the main man. This guy ain't gonna reply back to me. You know what? 2 days later, I had an email back, um, and he said, I like what I'm hearing," and that now was like, I ran to my wife. I go, "Yo, Apache's team have just emailed me back, and she's like, "Really?" I'll go, "Yeah, okay." I'll go, "Look, this is the first artist in the industry from the age of 13 that has responded to something that I've given them. Remember, we talked about me dropping CDs off to all these record labels, giving them a contact number. Nobody got back. The ones that I did speak face to face with said, "Menu paise chahiye, I want this much money." All those years have gone by, all those knockbacks, all those contacts, all those meetings. Patchy's the first one that says, "Link me up.
Yeah.
Let's
Respect
do
that.
something." Let's do something. I was in awe. I thought, now what the hell? I'm sure I had to double check my email. It's not from like somewhere else. It is from Apache Indian. And then his partner called me, Yasmin,
Yep.
and we started music, man. And that was it. Apache goes, "Come on board," and he couldn't believe what he heard. More or less the story I've told you today. He goes, "Devinder, I can't believe it." He goes, "I cannot believe that you've not done as much as you wanted to in the past 20, 30 years."
Mm.
But he goes, "Look, nothing's too late. You're not old. Nothing's happening. Let's just get some music out there. Let's keep going. Nothing's gonna stop us." So Apache's held my hand, man, and he's he's brought something different out in me because now I'm producing in different genres. Now I'm producing in the reggae. Releasing stuff in reggae charts,
Really? Wow,
things that
man.
I've never seen do. You know what I mean? With songs are coming out and they're sitting next to Eni Kamosi, Bob Marley, Sean Paul, the English tracks that we've
That's
produced, they're
crazy, man.
sitting with these people, and I'm like, it's crazy because you know what? And I've actually made money off production now. We made a track. The first track I produced with Apache was called "You're Blessed."
Hmm.
It was a full-on English reggae track, um, which, funny enough, was Apache's got many a contacts. I think some movie guys contacted Apache. This is about the first song I produced for him. They've says, "Oh, can you send us something? We're looking to put a track in an Asian, British Asian movie that we got coming up." And he showed them this "You're Blessed" track, and they loved it. But they says, "Can you do like a drum and bass version of it or something?" So Apache goes, look, I've got a client that wants, you know, loves this track, but he wants a drum and bass version. I'm like, whoa, this is going next level now. First Apache's on scene, he's on, he's got my back. Now there's a movie company that wants to do some music, who wants our music. So I made this track. He sold it to the clients, and that was my first wage in music,
Amazing.
Raj, and that came from Apache's blessings. It's the first time I've ever made any money in music, so that was coming from that as well. And I just see everything coming as blessing. You be right in your own way. You do everything humble. Keep your feet grounded. Things happen automatically, man. And that's what's happening now with Apache. And now I'm part of the team. Now I'm part of Apache's crew. I'm one of the in-house producers with Apache now. I never thought that'd happen. When we see
That's
Apache
crazy.
Indian
That
on
is.
TV back in the day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy's listening to Don Rada when Apache had trem lines in his head, walking
Yep.
Handsworth, the streets of Handsworth. These are guys that we were looking up to. Now we're sitting on the same table as having roti with these guys and talking about music.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. So I see this all as blessings. Doesn't matter how old you are, never stop dreaming, man. You keep going. And yeah, man, this is it. Just music is beautiful, and that's how we're gonna keep it. And we're gonna help people along the way. You know,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Like the way I was helped, we'll help people as well.
I'm gonna let you know the time right now. It's been over an hour.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
no, we can carry on if you want, but I'm just thinking let's maybe we can catch up again another day. But I would just want to ask you
Yeah,
a few more questions just to end the
of
show.
course. Let's go
So
right here.
I always ask everyone that comes on what is musical excellence, because the podcast is about musical excellence ultimately. What is musical
Mm.
excellence according to Devinder J?
For me, Raj, musical excellence is, I think, it's coming down to about helping people in the industry. It's all about that, sharing the platform. This platform isn't for just me and you. It's not for,
No.
a few selected people. It's for everybody if you've got a bit of, shonk in music, if you've got some kind of wanting to do something, do it, man. And I'm here to help. If somebody says to me, Dav, I want to learn to sing or something, come on board. Let's try. Let's see what you got. And again, it's just musical excellence for me is putting out good music that comes straight from here. Don't let nobody tarnish that. You do what you're doing. Keep going forward, man. That's the
That's
way to do
amazing.
it.
I love that. Help each other as well, man. What I mean?
Yeah, it's all about that because we never had it. It's
Yeah.
time people that are up and coming or trying in
Absolutely.
the industry.
Absolutely. I know.
You know,
That's the main thing.
let's
And
do it. ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਹੁਣ ਦੋ ਤਿੰਨ ਗਾਣੇ ਕੱਢ ਲਏ Apache ਨਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਿਆ and I'm not going to help nobody
yeah.
now. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about now I'm doing things like this and now I want to help somebody else as well.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know,
So what's the
absolutely.
future for yourself, Devinder? What have we got?
Yeah, Raj, look at this now. Look, it's 2025. It's only September. I've released 8 singles this year already.
That's amazing, man.
Me and Apache, that's crazy, man. There's been a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun. Music is always fun. It's never a job for us. It's never like a chore. We've got 2 more. We've got a track coming out on the 19th, hopefully the 19th, with Master Rakesh. I might as well let you know
Nice.
about that. That's a collaboration, Master Rakesh, Apache, and me on
That's big,
production.
man.
We've got 2. Yeah, there's a song called Tere Sherovich. There's going to be 2 versions, Punjabi version and a reggae version of that. My journey with Apache now will continue. That's never going to end. There'll be tracks where I'm going to sing my own solo stuff, with Apache and without Apache, because obviously I'm going to do my solo thing as well. Got stuff happening with Harvey Sauter again.
Really? Oh,
That's
that, I'm
back
looking
on the
forward to that.
board.
Yeah.
Yeah. He went off the scene just because of his study and stuff, which is now completed, and we've had a conversation the other day. So now it is, I've got a selected people of artists that I'm working with. I'm very happy with right now. But again, like I said, after this podcast or anybody listening to this podcast, if you're out there, and you're trying, or you want some help in the industry, or you're feeling that you were somewhere at some point in your life the way I was, looking for help, but you can't get it, man, get in touch. Let's
Absolutely.
do it.
So where can we get in touch with you?
It's, yeah, man. You can obviously my Insta, official Devinder J, Facebook, TikTok, official Devinder J again. Email devinderjmusic@outlook.com. Email me. Let's get in touch, man, and let's help each other. And if if when we've had a listen, it's not about getting disheartened. You might have to go away, do a bit of practice, but we'll help you get practice. Let's get you to where you want to be, man. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. Let's help each other, man. This industry, it's about time we did.
100%.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's get Harvey on board on the podcast. If you can.
I think we should, man. That'd be awesome.
Hook it up for me. Yeah, hook it up.
I'll hook that up. I'll have a chat to him after this show, man.
Yeah, let's get Harvey Sort on. That'll be good.
Absolutely,
lots of fun.
man.
So,
yeah,
guys, any last words for the listeners before we close off?
No, man, that's it, man. Just keep music going. Keep listening to our music. Share the love. Loads of stuff coming through, and yeah, man, big love to everybody, man.
Absolutely, guys. That was Devinder J. Make sure you check him out on all his socials, and thank you for listening. And make sure you follow. If you've listened this far, make sure you follow, subscribe, not only to myself but to Devinder as well. And until we meet next time, God bless you all. Devinder, stay online and we'll chat. Anyway, God bless you all.